I was born in March of 1999, which means I am part of Generation Z, Gen Z, and I think our generation is cooked. And I'm not the only one who thinks our generation is cooked. I've been told by a lot of other people in my generation that our generation is cooked, whatever cooked means. I think our generation came up with the word cooked. But here's 5 reasons why. Let's go. First issue of this generation is that we grew up watching everyone's highlight reel. What I mean by that is that there's a huge comparison culture in Generation Z, mostly due to obviously social media, where growing up we were born, literally, my phone's in the car right now, but we were born with a phone in our hand where we're constantly just watching other people's lives. And what most people put on the internet for people to see aren't the bad parts, they're only the good parts, the highlight reel, such as when they get that new promotion at work, when they get a new car, buy a new house, get married. We are always watching other people live out what seems to be a really awesome life. And because of that, we're always trying to compare ourselves to one another, no matter what. And most people don't even worry about themselves. They just worry about how they appear to other people. And because of this, the average Gen Z-er feels like we're behind. We feel like we don't make that much money. If we haven't bought our first house yet, we feel like we're behind. If we still drive some old beater car, we feel like we're behind. If we haven't traveled to 5 countries outside of the US, we feel like we're behind, which sucks because I think it just makes for like a lifetime of potential depression if someone doesn't break out of that consistent cycle of just always trying to compare themselves to the person right next to them. I'm driving around looking for different spots to film, and I came across this sweet bridge. Climbing up here underneath, kind of loud with the traffic on top, but hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Number 2, there's a lot of people in my generation getting burned out from the cost of living. It just keeps going up, and I don't think there's ever really a cap. It's mostly the home prices, right? You used to be able to buy the average home on the average income, and now you can't. You need pretty much 3x the average income to buy the average home in this country. Look at the stats for yourself, but it's gotten crazy, and a lot of people simply can't keep up. Incomes have risen a little bit, don't get me wrong, but they have not risen fast enough or high enough for people to not go insane sometimes. So a lot of people are working 2-3 jobs, not because they want to, but because they need to, whether it's at the grocery store like Uber, DoorDash. There's this new Amazon thing where you can deliver packages for a couple bucks on the side. People are questioning the value of college. Back in the day, I mean, you needed to go to college to get a good job. Well, now, there's 100 different ways to make more money than there were before, but people who go to college, just a lot of them are successful, don't get me wrong, but I think the value people are realizing is just going down a little bit. The cost of college is getting way too high for the return that you get afterwards. So because everything's gotten so expensive with no end in sight, people lose hope. People lose hope that they're ever gonna buy a home and live out the American dream. They lose hope that they're ever gonna be able to take a nice vacation or put any money away, really. People lose hope that they're ever gonna have like free time in general if they're working 2-3 jobs. It's just like an endless cycle, and it's hard to wake up in the morning and stay motivated for some people if they truly think in their mind that this is literally never gonna pay off. Hey, can I do an iced honey cinnamon vanilla latte with almond milk, and can I do a triple shot of espresso in that?
Okay, and I'm sorry, what size was that?
Medium, regular.
Medium? Okay.
Yep.
Anything else?
That's it, thank you. I always feel like I'm from another planet when I order coffee for my lady, because when I order coffee for my lady, I say like 12 words, just get out one order. When I order coffee for myself, it is small black coffee. Easy, simple. With her, not really. This is pretty good though. $7.39 for whatever this is. I'm not sure what I ordered, but it is pretty good. Anyways, number 3, my generation, I feel like that we're growing up in a world that's on fire, to put it that way. And that could be literally on fire or figuratively on fire. What I mean by that is that there's always just some crap going on. You have like the political atmosphere, which is so bad. It's one side over here, one side over here, like no one in between. I think I'm old enough to clearly remember, say, the Obama versus Mitt Romney debates when they were going for the presidency, and those were civil. They were cool. They both legitimately liked and respected each other. They argued, but at the end of the day, you know, they're buddies. And I think every single election since then, it's been, you know, my side against this side or against your side, and everyone hates each other, and we're gonna see who wins here. All the crap going on with these wildfires in California and the stuff going on in the Middle East that people are arguing each other against. You also have like all the recent school shootings. It seems like crime is going up. I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot of stuff going on that is not good, and it doesn't help that the news, every outlet, loves to portray or show the bad things way more than the good things that happen out there. Why? Because bad things raise more eyebrows, get more people's attention, just kind of, you know, spark some fear and spark some anger, and that's what get their views up for that specific news station. Maybe all this stuff is just always going on, and that's probably the case since the beginning of time. You know, stuff happens, unfortunately, but I think maybe we just see it more, given we're always on our phones, and news is it's just always showing that stuff, and we can't ever really seem to get away from it. I don't know. I do see a lot of good in the world, but sometimes I feel like there's just a lot more bad going on, and we really don't have any control over it. Get back to it. Number 4 is that the job market sucks for entry-level college graduates. And I started seeing this about a year or two ago, and I think I know firsthand because I work in recruiting as my full-time job. We're given the market uncertainty. Like, companies need less workers in general, and when they need less workers in general to get the work done, the last thing they want to do is train up someone. And who they need to train up? Entry-level people or candidates with zero experience. So it's getting very, very hard and harder. It seems like every single year for college graduates to land their first-time job. Some kids are taking 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years just to find their first full-time job, which sucks because it kind of relates to what I said before, where is value of college still there? I don't know. And is it going to change? I have no idea. And I think the second part of it is not just the market, but the stereotype that most employers have about Gen Z is that we're lazy, we don't want to work hard, we want to clock out, you know, an hour too early. And I think that is true to an extent, for sure. There are a lot of people in my generation out there that just don't want to work, absolutely. But I think there are some really good hard workers out there where they will come in 9 to 5 or whatever it is and work very hard. So that stereotype is a thing on top of the not that good of a market that kids nowadays of this generation, they're having a hard time finding jobs in general. You know, I'm not even talking about good paying jobs like I mentioned earlier, but jobs in general. Number 5, and I don't know really anything about this topic, so I'm keep it short and sweet. I don't like talking about stuff where I'm not informed on or just don't know my stuff, and I definitely don't like giving life advice on it. But apparently, as I was doing my research, there is a serious mental health crisis with Generation Z. I guess more people of this generation just feel like they have issues in their head, whether they can control them or not. More people are looking for mental health help. I'm not sure if we have the resources around to help them or not. Hopefully we do. Again, I don't know anything about this topic. Fortunately, this is not something I have dealt with, but I know it affects a lot of people out there. I've heard about it. So hopefully we can get that resolved somewhere. I want to make sure that the point of this video is to just not like complain about everything, complain about the world, because at the end of the day, there's literally nothing we can do about how expensive everything has become, about all the crap going on outside of our control. It's just, you know, absolutely nothing we can do to control that stuff. But what we can do, and this is, you know, the advice I want to give, is to focus on what you can control in your life individually based on the conflicts, the 5 conflicts I listed that you know are going to happen regardless. For number 1, I would say get off social media. Like quit being on Instagram, quit scrolling TikTok and Twitter so much. I think I have decreased my social media use a lot. Now, of course, I post on YouTube every single Monday, as you know, but I do think that most of it is just garbage. It doesn't it positively impact your life at all. It's very easy to think about those who are doing better than you. I understand that, but the reality is that 99% of the world, and we just don't see it out because, you know, we live in, you know, most of us probably live in like a nice house here in the US where we don't see what goes on. But most people out there are scrapping, like they're fighting to survive, and you know, every meal on the table is not guaranteed. You gotta think of it that way. Everyone is not out whipping a Ferrari and going on vacation to you know, Fiji every year, and if they are, they're probably in debt. With number 2, with the cost of living, it's just nothing we can do. It's never gonna drop. It's pretty much just suck it up. We just gotta suck it up and work 2-3 jobs if we need to. We need to just focus on bringing in as much money as we can because we want a good life for ourselves, and we probably have some people dependent on us. We gotta realize, we gotta work harder than our parents ever did. We need to. Things are much more expensive, and it's just very easy to lay around on the couch and pout about it, but that's not gonna get you anywhere. If you gotta work 2-3 jobs, you gotta work overtime, you gotta drive Uber, do it. It's plain and simple. Just do it. We gotta reverse the stereotype they're all lazy, because I know we're not. With number 3, with all the crap going on in the world, it's very sad. I wish the world was an amazing place. I wish everyone got along, but that's just not the case, and it never will be. So the one thing that you can do, well, stop doing, is watching the news. I stopped watching 99% of the news probably a year or 2 ago. It's just like, you know, when you turn on the news, it's gonna be like the next you know, the next bad thing that happened, whatever that is, and as sad as it is, there's nothing you can do about it, so I just stopped watching it. For number 4, it's getting very hard for this generation to get a good job, especially right out of school. So it is very important to start building your personal brand and your network as early, as soon as possible. Every single person you meet, maybe try to think, how can this person help me eventually? Who does this person know? Can this person help me fix up my resume, teach me some interview skills? Does this person know someone at the company I want to work for? It's very hard for people nowadays just like submit an application to a job online and get an interview and get the job. Most of the time, you gotta know someone. You gotta have an in, as unfortunate that it is. So the more people you know, the more people you can get advice from, the more people you talk to and ask good questions to, the more people will probably be willing to help you if they like you. And ultimately, for entry-level people, that's how you'll get your job. And number 5, with the mental health thing, like I said, I don't know anything about that. I'm not going to pretend that I know anything about that, because I don't. But I feel like, I guess one piece of advice is just don't be afraid to reach out for some help if you need it. Especially to me, my DMs are always open on my Instagram. You can always leave a comment on my video if you just want someone to talk to. I've had like a decent amount of people over the last few years I've been doing YouTube reach out just to talk about whatever. And if I can benefit someone's life in some way and make their head a little bit clearer and make them more self-confident, then I think I've done my part. With all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and wrap up this video today. Hope everything made sense and that you enjoyed it. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Also, subscribe to my channel if you have not yet, because I drop a new video every single Monday that you do not want to miss. As always, guys, work hard, be nice to people. I'll see you guys next Monday.